Good afternoon. For England today, a European Championship Group 7 match with Turkey in Izmir. A match that England should win and win well, but there's a new look to this side of Graham Taylor's and a great deal of interest in what happens over the next 90 minutes or so. So live coverage coming up, but the look of Group 7 has changed during the course of the afternoon, with the Republic of Ireland held to a goalless draw by Poland in Dublin. Disappointing for Jack Charlton, good for England though, and if they get the right result in Izmir, they'll take over at the top of that group today. Well, that England team, new caps for Dennis Wise and Jeff Thomas, Alan Smith up front with Gary Lineker, and Gary Pallister in for Mark Wright, who's got a thigh strain, Lee Sharp out with a calf strain. But an interesting lineup, and Jimmy Hill is with us. What do you make of it?
Well, we've been talking really, and the press are reacting as if the recent England performances have been first class. They've been good defensively, but in an attacking sense, the number of shots and chances coming off the production line has been few and far between. So we have not done as well as we might have done, and obviously the changes are made, bringing in Alan Smith with an idea of creating more chances. What people think is that if you pick the 11 prettiest players in England, that you'll have a good football team. It doesn't happen like that. Graham Taylor knows that a good football team is made up of the right component parts. And apart from injuries, I mean, I'm sure Gazza would have been in the side if he'd been fit and one or two others. But in the circumstances, he has backed his belief. He's a brave man. And he thinks, well, if I'm going to be slaughtered, I might just as well be slaughtered for my own beliefs as somebody else's. As you and I well know, that tomorrow it'll be come back Robson, all is forgiven, if this experimental team doesn't work.
But what's your feeling? Are you confident that this is a side that can create chances and score goals? Because this is also a great opportunity to lift the goal difference as well.
I'm confident in his judgment. He knows more about those players than you and I, and he knows what he's after. Alan Smith, I think, has earned his place on merit, and as a receiver of the ball, and also as someone who can score goals and is in form. So I don't see that anything wrong in what he's done at the moment, just because he's picked a player, Dennis Wise, who supposedly is out of form, and it wasn't one the press had in mind. But we shall see. Okay, he's a brave man.
We'll have an interim verdict at half-time, but things about to happen now in Izmir, and we'll go out there and join our commentary team of Trevor Brooking and Barry Davis.
Welcome to the third largest town in Turkey on a warm evening after a mainly cloudy day which had a little rain in the morning. The two captains at the toss-up with the officials from West Germany, the referee Wolfgang Günther Weisel, Gary Lineker on the left, and Kalimbe Reza of Besiktas, the captain of Turkey, on the right. He's one of 5 players in the side who come from that club, a club incidentally managed by the former England midfield player, Gordon Milne. The pitch is well grassed, although a little bumpy, and not as good as the pitch that the under-21 side played on yesterday. That's the Turkish lineup. He's made 5 changes. Sepp Piontek, former manager of the Danish national side. You remember back in '84, it was he who denied Bobby Robson's team a place in the European Championship finals. Confirmation of the English side, 2 new caps, means that Graham Taylor has so far used 27 players and awarded 4 new caps during his reign as the England manager. And I would think it's a fairly proud afternoon for Crewe Alexandria. 2 of their former players, Jeff Thomas and David Platt, having moved on to be members of the England midfield. The crowd is fairly small and basked in sunshine on the far side. There's the England duo, the England manager on the left, and the assistant to the manager, Laurie McMenemy, and down through the coaching staff and the physiotherapist and the doctor. England playing in blue, sky blue strip, attacking the goal to our right against the side that they've now played, be playing for